Hello, I'm Adam Barralet and welcome to this Crystal Connections video where we're exploring the angel Zuriel. Now Zuriel is a set of 12 angels which are the guardians of each of the zodiac signs. Zuriel is the guardian of the sign Libra. Now, if you're not born under the sign of Libra, you can still definitely work with Zuriel, but Librans definitely have a bit of a special place in Zuriel's heart. Now, the other times that you might want to work with Zuriel, regardless of what star sign you are, is when maybe you have a strong Libran energy in your chart, or when the full moon or the new moon is in Libra. This is a really great time to work with Zuriel as well. Now, each zodiac sign governs a different aspect of life. And what does Libra govern? A bit of an important part: relationships. Now, the first thing that comes to mind is romantic relationships, and that is to do with the sign of Libra, but all relationships, our personal relationships and our professional and business relationships as well. Zuriel helps us to find that balance. And so we're going to dive in and look at how you can call upon Zuriel when you're looking for support as a Libran or with a Libran energy in your chart, when maybe the moon or a prominent planet is in Libra, or if you need some help with relationships. Zuriel is called upon by Librans or other people needing that support when their life is feeling totally out of balance and out of whack. He helps to bring harmony back. In fact, Zuriel's name translates to mean rock of God, and he gives that stability when things are shaky in your life. Now, the really interesting thing about Zuriel is, angels, I haven't looked up an angel's robe before, but I've never known if they're male or female. And, sometimes we'll refer to them as he or she because they have that kind of, more yang or more yin energy. But Zuriel really kind of sits in the middle and can be quite androgynous in energy. In fact, Zuriel also governs the sacred union between the masculine energy and the feminine energy. In the past, Zuriel is called upon to help for couples that wanting to start a family, to ease childbirth, and to look after newborn children as well. You can also use Zuriel for kind of helping in the mental realm as well, and has been called upon to help with things such as depression, anxiety, and even dementia. In fact, in the past, Zuriel even used to be called upon to cure stupidity. Probably a few people who could do with a bit of Zuriel help here and there. Not only does Zuriel help in our life, but Zuriel can also help in both the plant kingdom and the mineral kingdom and the animal kingdom to help bring harmony and balance as well. And as we see right here on the earth right now, Mother Nature is trying to regain her balance, and humans are, we're helping and not helping at the same time. But Zuriel is a really great angel to call in to help us and to help Mother Earth, to help the animals and the plants, all to regain their balance of what's needed and regain harmony so that we return to a state of peaceful bliss. You would call upon Zuriel whenever life is feeling a little bit out of whack or out of balance, and he helps you to regain that, or she helps you to regain that. I'm going he and she. So the interesting thing about when we look at balance, I think sometimes people think it's this state where we've got everything perfect in alignment. Like when our life is in balance, where we're doing our exercise, we're doing our meditation, we've got time for ourselves, we've got time for our children, we've got time for our partner, time for work, time for this, time for that. And that's not probably really possible. When we look at balance in nature, nothing in nature ever stands still. What does it do? It goes in cycles, it ebbs and flows. And Zuriel helps us to get back into that ebb and flow when there's a time for work and a time for play, a time for action and a time for rest, a time for others and a time for yourself, and so on. And so this is where Zuriel can really help you to find where you're kind of focusing too much energy and maybe where you need to swing the pendulum the other way. Of course, because Zuriel is really good at helping that Libran energy, Librans have a really heart-centered energy. And what I find is they can be people pleasers. They're always trying to make sure everyone else is happy. And for that reason, they can be a little bit indecisive. Zuriel can help any of us, whether you be Libran or another sign, to make up your mind. The symbol for the Librans is a scale, and Zuriel helps you to weigh the pros and the cons of any situation, and also to look at the long-term options of the long-term results, or what will happen in the long term of whatever choice you make. In the end though, Zuriel always reminds us to come back to love. And what is the most loving decision that we can make for ourselves, for other people, and for the greater good. Now, when Zuriel is around, Zuriel will kind of give you the certainty on a situation. You'll kind of go, oh, was that Zuriel dropping in and helping me? Or remember that symbol of the scales? You may see scales in some form or another, and that may be Zuriel trying to grab your attention and go, hey, you need to find some balance. We need to swing the pendulum the other way, or you need to weigh up the odds. Either one of those two messages are normally the strong messages that Zuriel tries to convey to us. Crystals are a really beautiful way to connect with Zuriel and have something to hold and dedicate, so when you need to drop into that energy of Zuriel, you definitely can do that. Now, there's a few crystals that work really well, and often you'll find crystals that kind of have a yin-yang energy in them. So some really kind of like the initiatory crystals that I call, ones that are really nice to just get started working with Zuriel. Ametrine. So what you'll see with Ametrine is you've got the purple here, which is kind of like amethyst, and like a yellowy citrine color here. You know, that citrine or that yellow color is very sunshiny, it's very active, it's very let's go, 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 let's be joyous. Whereas the violet or the purple is a bit more yin and a bit more sedate and a bit more calm. And so this is a great one for especially work-life balance and making sure that we're not just working. We've got some pleasure time, some leisure time, and some sociability time. And it also can help us to see the weight in someone else's argument or decision as well. Another crystal, you often find kyanite, ruby, and Fuchsite growing together, and you'll get these blues and pinks and greens all growing together. And again, ruby is very much about the passion. Kyanite kind of steps us back and allows us to evaluate things without other energies interfering us. And Fuchsite is very leveling and also very joyous in its energy as well. So you get this passion, this joy, what really resonates for me. And Kyanite kind of blocks it out so you can kind of go, what's my decision, rather than worrying about everyone else as well. So really great at helping weigh things up in that way. Now you can also look at some kind of higher vibration or rarer crystals to really lean in to that Zuriel energy. One of my favorites is this one here. It's watermelon tourmaline, where this is a raw bit where you can see the pink and then green growing around the edge. And you can see on my ring there's another example of it. When we think about the Libran energy, it is that heart-centered energy, and the heart chakra is governed or resonates with two colors, green and pink, because that is our ability to give love to the world and receive love to the world. When we want to get that equality, Zuriel can really help, and can really help in relationships to make sure that there is equal give and take, whatever relationship that may be. So this is a really great crystal to lean into and align with Zuriel as well. Another one that's a little bit rarer, but is really quite cool, is known as diaspore, and there is a type called zoltanite. Now this will look kind of green in this light, and in the other light it'll look orange. And if you kind of Google some images of it, some really nice zoltanite will go from green to orange depending on what type of light it's shining. Again, showing those two sides and encouraging us to look at different aspects of something and to find that harmony as well. So any of these crystals can be really great to align with the energy of Zuriel. And what I recommend doing is choose one that really resonates with you, dedicate it to Zuriel, let Zuriel know just by speaking out loud or in your mind that this is the crystal that I'm dedicating to you, Zuriel, and whenever you wear it or carry it, it helps to call Zuriel by your side. Essential oils are a really beautiful gift from the plant kingdom that can allow us to align with the energetics of the angelic realm as well. So I've created a Zuriel blend that I'd love you to try and see if that really helps you to connect with Zuriel on a deeper level. Now this blend has 3 different oils. The first one is geranium. Now geranium works really well with the heart chakra. It works really well with helping us to trust again, and it's a real equalizer in relationships. So when we're talking about that Libran energy of relationships, we can work with geranium to make sure that we're open enough to trust and to give. But it's also a bit of a protective oil, and you'll see that the plants are often planted around houses in different places, especially some African areas, where it's known as a guardian to protect the house and make sure that only love enters herein. So that can be a really great one to bring in. You then bring in ylang-ylang. Ylang-ylang brings in that pleasure and is really important because I find a lot of us get really serious when our life is out of harmony, or we work too much. And so I find that the luxurious aspect of ylang-ylang really helps us to lighten up. And when we lighten up, we find that we can make decisions easier, that things become clearer, we don't get so stuck on something we believe in, and we also can, open up to connecting with other people a little bit more as well. Then just to add a bit more gentleness in there as well, because you will find that Zuriel has this beautiful soft energy, is Roman chamomile. Roman chamomile, of course, is such a beautiful, sedative, calming essential oil, which allows us to be gentle with ourselves, to be gentle with others. And remember how I was mentioning that Zuriel helps with bringing back harmony to the animal world, to the plant kingdom, and to the planet Earth as well? Well, Roman chamomile reminds us to be gentle as we tread upon this earth as well. So try blending those 3 oils together, pop them in a diffuser, make them into a roller ball and wear them as a perfume and anoint it over your heart and call upon Zuriel as you hold one of the crystals. But bringing those 3 in, I find, when you work with them together, will really help you to resonate and find the frequency that will align with Zuriel. Now, I'd love to hear about your experiences with Zuriel. Have you used a crystal or an essential oil, or has something happened for you? Especially if you're a Libran. Please share with our nature-loving and our angelic-loving community below by leaving a comment. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. I'm Adam Barralet. Blessed be.